Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and I'm telling you, it is a trippy Tuesday. Hang on, because today's going to be a ride for everybody. It has already been a ride for me this morning, and I'm not even sure why. Welcome to Show Me Your Nuts. My name is Stacy Braiuca, the Squirrel Wrangler, and I guide humans to wrangle their inner squirrels of self-doubt, negative emotions, and limiting beliefs so that they can live in peace and enjoy. And on the show, Show Me Your Nuts, I guide humans through the worlds about mental wellness. All of them, all the worlds. Your quantum heart's compass, your struggles, your frustrations, and your celebrations. And today we're celebrating the end of Connection Month yesterday and the beginning of a new month today. And so today is our connection finale. Can you believe that I've made it through 2 weeks? I made it see, the balloons are excited. I made it through 2 weeks of the show, and you guys have made it through 2 weeks of showing your nuts and building this community, helping me begin to build this community. So today I want to celebrate you, those who have come and hung out with me, and those who are watching on the replays. If you're watching 2 years from now on the replay, I'm going to love that. But we're going to celebrate your stories, your breakthroughs, and your wisdom that we've gathered together. So that's a lot. So before we dive into that, how are you feeling about your connection journey? I want you to think about that. Oh, hang on. There's somebody at the door. Oh, there's the beach squirrel's here. The beach squirrel? Mystery guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello? Do you know who I am?
Does anybody know the beach squirrel? So I'm going to guess. Lives near the beach. Has a furry tail. I'm jealous because they get to go swimming in the beachy water and have sunshine. Although right now, too much sunshine. Yeah. You guys, welcome the beach squirrel, otherwise known as my amazing friend and show network producer, Jessica.
Hello, everybody. The beach squirrel, also known as Jessica Dugas, the creator of the Breakthrough Show Network. I had to bring my squirreliness to the show because it's Show Me Your Nuts.
It is, and it's Trippy Tuesday.
It is, in fact, hashtag Trippy Tuesday.
We have a new hashtag today and a new show guest, a new character in the squirrel verse.
Yes. So this is Beach Squirrel. Beach Squirrel is this is the story behind Beach Squirrel. Beach Squirrel is trying to spend the summer at the beach because she's hot. First of all, it's hot outside. We want to get in the water. We want to have a good time. We want to spend time with family. We want to swim with the seals out here in the water. But unfortunately, people keep sending Beach Squirrel things to do. So Beach Squirrel keeps getting things piled on their plate to lessen the beach time. So in Beach Squirrel's head, we're always thinking about we should be at the beach right now.
Yeah. And in life, things are nutty.
That's exactly correct.
So So if you guys have ideas to help Beach Squirrel be at the beach and not be working all the time, tell us what you think. Yeah, and here, this is it right here. Jamie Rich, spot on. Life's a beach.
Yep.
Life is a beach, but not the one that the Beach Squirrel wants to be at, I don't think.
Right. I mean, well, what came in my head anytime somebody says life's a beach, I think of the song "Life Is a Highway." I want to ride it all night long, but life is a beach. I want to swim at it all day long. That's
I love that. Oh, oh. I wish we had like a DJ in the background and had the music where we could cue up that music.
DJ Blackout, where are you? So fun fact, my friend Arceo that I grew up with here in southeastern Connecticut, he is a DJ now, known as DJ Blackout. And if you go into our virtual community in the music lounge, you can actually hear one of his mixes in the music lounge in the Breakthrough Show Network. So shout out to DJ Blackout here in southeastern Connecticut.
Shout out. Yeah. And if we had one of the troubadour retrievers named Scotty McBee, who actually voiced the intro for Show Me Your Nuts.
Yep.
If we had him here, he would like go straight in. He'd just play his guitar and play the song live. He'd play it before we even asked him. He'd hear you say that and he'd start playing it because that's how he rolls.
See, and we have to shout out to, I don't know if you guys raise your hand out in the audience if you were here on time today and got to hear the bop that is the Show Me Your Nuts intro, because Scotty really put his whole foot in that one. He really did. It's so cute and funny, and it sets us up to have a good time here. So let us know if you've heard that.
We've got G in the house saying good morning. Good morning, G.
Yep. See, Mandy was here on time. She heard the bop.
Here on time. And she's the space squirrel. She's the space cowboy, but space squirrel. All right, we're going to have a whole room full of squirrels in the next couple weeks with this show. I can just feel it. Everybody gets the squirrel name. Because we already had Cashew Quilt here the very first day.
Yes.
So now we got people that have squirrel names. So one of the things I wanted to do today was talk about, I wanted to tell the community thank you. And thank you guys for showing up not only the first week, the second week, showing up today and just like being here. You have no idea what that feels like in here to have you guys there watching live or watching the replay. It means a lot because there's silliness going on here, but sometimes there's also seriousness going on in here that we're talking about. So I've kind of got a poll that I want to do, Jessica, and it's going to spotlight like who's feeling what about their journey with connection recently. I'm going to put this on the screen for people to scan that barcode, or you can go to Slido, SLIDO.com, and just put in the number 3022132. And you will see the poll that we're going to do.
Yes, scan the thing and put in so that we can do the quiz together, you guys.
Yeah. This is a test of the Squirrel Slido system. And it is not just a test, it's for reals. So scan the code. It's also, you can also put in the code that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen, the shor.by/KAE capital EB. You can put that in. So I leave that up for you. And who's got the poll up and ready to go?
Me.
Yeah. So the first question of the poll is which connection breakthrough surprised you the most the last 2 weeks? And I don't know. There should be a way for me to share my screen and present. The question will be is in what mess will I present?
GR is on it. On it.
G's always on it. Always. All right, here we go. I'm going to share I love this share screen with it. So which connection breakthrough surprised you the most? Connected deeper with yourself? Realized you're not alone in feeling nuts? Reaching out when you feel isolated? Or finding your tribe in the community? And
is the link that's at the bottom, is that the one they need to go to as well?
You can, because I didn't realize I was going to be able to share it with the scan.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everybody's got the link straight in the comments.
Okay. I am loving loving seeing these results. I am too. I love the fact that people are connecting deeper with themselves. And Sacred Yen, happy Nutty Tuesday. It is definitely Nutty Tuesday. I know there's I think for me, I'm feeling all 4 of them, but I'm gonna tough, but 2 of them. All right, so you guys raise your hand if you're ready for the second question. And
me.
As I figure out how to get the poll to go to the second question.
Probably that little arrow next to hide results.
Well, I'm worried that it's going to go to all of them, but no. Okay. Is it the next?
Beach Squirrel is on it.
Beach Squirrels. Well, Beach Squirrels is helping Squirrel Wrangler wrangle her own brain today. Starting conversations with new biggest connection challenge moving forward. Starting conversations with new people, maintaining connections when life gets busy, being vulnerable about mental health, and trusting others with your authentic self. Oh, look at that. Trusting others coming in second with coming in hot. I do not have trouble with starting conversations with new people. Sometimes I have the trusting whatever, maintaining connections. That's where I'm at. Oop. I don't know if that's, let me get back over here to share.
You know what I love about these answers? So first of all, I love that it's completely split, which shows that even with a couple doing that maintaining connection part, one of the beautiful things is you help people with this, but also both of our communities help with this in so many ways. Like we offer so many little tips and tricks and activities and reminders, and really that accountability, because I think we all have all of these things. I think most of us have the desire to be vulnerable, to trust others, to start conversations, to maintain connections, but we don't necessarily hold ourselves accountable to do that. And so when you're a part of a community, which is what you've been talking about during your connection series, what a beautiful thing that we all have ways to hold ourselves accountable for that.
Yeah. And I'm thinking when you were talking about that, is one of the things in the Breakthrough Show community is Saturday morning coffee.
Yes.
Because it's hard for me to make it to Saturday morning coffee. As many of you who know me know that waking up on a Saturday to be at an 8:30 a.m. Central meeting, that if I'm not there by 8:35, I'm out. That's rough. But I also, what I do know from being there, oh my gosh, if you haven't ever been to a Saturday morning Soul Saturday coffee, making connections, you're going to make connections. Good morning, Cashew Quilt. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Kathy.
You're going to make connections. You're going to start conversations with people you don't know. You're going to trust others you have to trust others with your authentic self if you choose to participate, but if you can choose your level of participation. But you also you have an opportunity to be vulnerable about your mental health in a closed, safe arena. And that's the part I love. It's closed, but it's also accountable. And I'm not thinking of the word. It's Trippy Tuesday. Words are not coming out of my mouth well. It's safe, even though it's vulnerable, which is not always, that doesn't always happen in the same place.
Yeah.
So we're doing a poll this morning. Those of you who are just joining us, if you scan the QR code that's on the screen, you can look at the poll, and we're answering questions, and then we're looking at the results live. We're not and you can answer the questions anonymously, which is one thing I really kind of like about this poll here, is because you can be vulnerable you can put your information in without being outed of who it is. So you can feel comfortable with like sharing your information without somebody knowing what you're saying. So right now we've got a 50% on maintaining connections when life gets busy, which I think that's one of the hard ones for me. But starting conversations with new people, trusting others with your authentic self, and being vulnerable. I think those last two are kind of similar, but maybe not.
I love what GR said as well, that maintenance of relationships looks different depending on the connection. I think that's what's been the journey for me, and learning to compartmentalize when it comes to connections and relationships. So knowing that people play different roles in our lives and aren't necessarily, I might not check in with somebody every day, but I might send a squirrel gif or something to Stacy every day. It could be something like that.
Or wake up to a squirrel that was sent to you in the middle of the night. That happens. I think several people in the room woke up to squirrels sent to them last night. Because I found one that was just absolutely adorable. Get to my correct.
That's it, GR. Some are VIP, some are in general admission. That's exactly right.
We did not get all of the questions. So let me double check that we've got. Because there were 3 questions, and now I'm not finding the third one. This is the first time I've used this, and yes, Geek Girl is having fun with the software.
Live squirrels.
Live squirrel at your service. Okay, so apparently I had 3 questions in here, but it only kept 2. So we're just going to go with 2 today. Tell me in the comments what you thought of doing a live poll like this. Like, did you like it? Did you lump it? Did you, would you want to see more of them in the future? If you're watching the replay, is this helpful to know that you are not alone in connecting deeper with yourself, or realizing you're not feeling nuts, or reaching out when you feel isolated, or finding your tribe? And those of you who know me, I use the word tribe very carefully, and it's not my favorite word to use in this context, but I did. G says live polls are great. Keep it going. Woohoo! I want more. That's therapeutic. Thank you. And I'd never used Slido, so I'm
gonna have to get that. Beach Squirrel needs the polls.
Beach Squirrel's now gonna get polls. Yeah. And you know what would be fun? Because this poll's going to be open for another 3 days. So if you're watching the replay and the poll's still open, add your information. But what might be really fun is to have the same poll across multiple shows. when we have similar topics. And
we might have to do that. We might have to do that for like something special, maybe coming up. I don't know. We'll see. We have so much happening. We'll have to talk about it.
Oh yeah. G, you are amazing. Thank you for your comments. She could try this one out on. Yep. Okay. So there's at least one person in the audience that I know is going to laugh at this. Is Stacy is always influencing me in one way or another. So there's one person in the audience who I know is going to say that Stacy has always there's a joke from when I was little, and my granny said it, and then my mom agreed with it. When I was little, it would be like trying to we'd be playing like paper dolls, and start out like me playing with the paper dolls and whatever, and by the end it was me telling the other person how to play with the paper dolls.
I used to love paper dolls. Love paper dolls.
Oh, you know what would be cool? Paper squirrels.
Paper squirrels.
And and different places to put them, like beaches, and they could have like surfboards or sunglasses, or
Think of like Flat Stanley, but with a squirrel.
Flat squirrel.
Yes, flat squirrel. It's happening.
Hashtag flat squirrel. Okay. I will be working on flat squirrel so that people can download their free flat squirrel. Yeah. And create their own. Yeah.
Where is flat squirrel today? Flat
squirrel today. That will. Yeah.
If flat squirrel is not at the beach once a week, I'm out.
If flat squirrel's not at the beach twice a week, I'm out.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. I'm the hostess. I'm still, yeah. Squirrel Wrangler wants to go to the beach. So, but so now we have everyone.
Be careful, guys. Be careful, guys, because the beach chickens will go after the flat squirrel if you're not careful.
Well, depends on which flat squirrel it is, to be fair. I told you guys it's Nutty Tuesday. This is like, you don't know what you're going to get today. You really don't know. Because beach squirrel and all right. After I did that.
Well, because we went back to something else. Do you want me to fix it?
No, I love this. We're good.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Beach squirrel has had entirely too many beach fries and is now taking up 2 chairs.
So, beach chickens. Beach chickens are apparently a thing.
Yeah, they are. Beach chickens are what we refer to as the seagulls here in southeastern Connecticut, because the beach chickens, the seagulls go after all of your food, and they just waddle around in just like chickens on a farm, but at the beach.
Because they can't get up.
They cannot fly. They've eaten all your food, and now they're waddling along on the sand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who in the chat is ready for deeper connection with each other and with a bigger community? Who wants to connect with more squirrels and what things? Raise your hand if you want to do that. All right. So, and sure enough, I thought I didn't have the link, but yes, I do. I have a community for Squirrel Wranglers, for the squirrels, and I will be creating a thread about Flat Squirrel. He's not Stanley the squirrel. He's
Squirrely.
Flat or fat squirrel.
It's both. It's both depending on the day.
Words.
He's in his beach French fry era.
Are beach French fries a thing? I'm a Midwest girl. Okay.
Yeah. We have to have French fries at the beach, just FYI.
Are French fries different at the beach?
They're just better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Space squirrel. Gemini, I'll tell you what, Tarot by Gemini, that's it. I'm space squirrel today. Totally space squirrel. So I want to invite you guys to join the Squirrel Wrangler community. And I want to continue in between shows this discussion of where is flat squirrel and show pictures of where flat squirrel is. And then I can bring those pictures back into the show. So, you missed the introduction to beach squirrel. Beach squirrel lives in Connecticut and not far from the beach. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm less than 1 mile from the water itself, but from the actual beach where the beach chickens are and the French fries, I'm 4.5 miles.
So just a minute or two in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's going to walk that?
Not in this heat. Not this beach squirrel.
No.
Not this beach squirrel. No.
Yeah.
We load up the wagon, and we have a beach wagon, and the cooler and the tent and we bring the whole thing down there.
Yeah. And if it were closer, or maybe if you had like if it were, I could see having like a golf cart and getting to the beach.
Oh, I would so be down. I keep saying I need a golf cart.
I think fit so
many beach squirrels in the cart.
Well, and then behind the golf cart, you put you have it tow a little cart that has your beach tent and cooler and supplies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. This is happening.
We're laughing about this, or we're making fun, but to be fair and to be real, going to the beach and relaxing is a form of self-care, and it's a form of connecting with others. Yes. So like self-care is I just knocked myself down in the camera. Self-care is something that I talk about a lot because I think we think that self-care is just going to the spa, getting our nails done, going shopping. It's not the only kind of self-care, and self-care doesn't have to be something that costs money. Self-care could be going to see live music and relaxing with family. One of my favorite is #ArtInTheBar. So if you're on Facebook, I think maybe even LinkedIn, if you look up #ArtInTheBar, that is how that's one of my favorite things of self-care. And boom. G with the mic drop.
There it is.
G with the mic drop. And it's funny that you bring that in a way, G, because literally I was in a virtual bar the other day. A virtual bar named the Come Right In. If you've never been there, get a hold of me. I'll get you
RJ.
I'll get you a backdoor pass. Oh wait. Yep. We'll ask RJ if we can get a backdoor pass. But we were talking about saying no and owning the no. Owning your no. Of making sure that, like when you say no, that's and sometimes we have to do that. But I think sometimes that conflicts with what we were talking about earlier with not having enough time to connect with people we care about.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to say no to one person you care about because you have to go to something, you're going to something else with somebody else you care about.
Mm.
I literally was just talking to a client the other day about that very challenge and how do they negotiate it, because they feel like their family members or their friends, either one, were going to get upset with them because they couldn't go to both things.
You know what's interesting about that is sometimes we just need to look at it a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. So this very thing, let's see, how many years ago now? 12 years ago, I had 4 children in 4 different schools. And those schools never communicated. So it got to the point of where I would have to say to one, I can't go to your spelling bee because I have to go to the concert, or I have to go to the play because I can't go to this. And what I realized is, I could homeschool and I wouldn't have to worry about this. and I could be there. I could be there for all the things. So not to say that that's the option for everybody, but it's a great thing sometimes to just shift how you look at it. Maybe instead of saying no to one friend and yes to one friend, we can go, hey, how about we both meet up? How about we all meet up and go do something together? So sometimes even just shifting how we think can be such a huge act of self-care, because for me, like, feeling like I have to say no, that I'm backed into a corner to have to say no. I don't like that feeling. That doesn't feel like self-care to me. That feels like somebody's telling Jessica what to do, and I don't like that.
No, Stacy doesn't like that one either, ever. But on the for reals, I think that you can actually you can even build more community that way.
Right.
Because one of the ways you can do that is actually, like you said, asking somebody else to go with you to the thing. And a great example of that with my art in the bar or going to see live music is that I have several times invited others to go with me to go see live music, and they ended up enjoying the thing. And so it increases, so the live music's with my brother's band, it increases his band's audience. Then they start bringing people, and then we meet new people, and then they enjoy the thing, and it actually creates more community all the way around. And so I'm going to put this in because I think this is kind of this thought really talks about what we've been talking about. Connection starts from within. We start by connecting to ourselves inside. What do we like? When I work with clients, I call them go and no go lists. What are the things that make you go somewhere? What are the things that make you say no go? And similarly with other with relationships, what's a go and no go list in relationships for you? Like if you are like, there's no way I'm going near a beach, then you might not want to hang out with Beach Squirrel. If it's like, I love the beach, I want to be on the beach all the time, you might really love hanging out with Beach Squirrel. So but your connection starts with knowing yourself on the inside. Yeah. And I'm gonna go out on a squirrel limb and say it might be the hardest part of all of it. Because we spend a lot of time in society right now reaching outside, and not enough going inside, and knowing ourselves. And we think we know ourselves based on what other people say and what we hear. Oh yeah, I think I like that, or other people might. You go along with the flow, and we don't always think about what it is that we really care about the most. We don't go a deep dive into our values and our beliefs. We don't always know the difference between values and beliefs. And boy, I'm going down a squirrel hole here, but hang on. Uh-oh. When there's a conflict between our values and our beliefs, our feels come up. So something will happen. You'll be talking along to somebody, and all of a sudden your feels come up. And when your feels come up like that, there's possibly a conflict underneath it, under your values and beliefs. But if you haven't done that deep dive in knowing yourself and knowing what your values truly are, knowing what the difference between the values and beliefs and knowing what the beliefs are, those feels are going to come up every time in that kind of situation, and you're not going to know quite why. It's going to be just one of those, but you don't know why.
Right.
And when that happens, that causes more conflict that may or may not really have needed to be conflict, because we all have the opportunity to do the deep dive. And when you figure out what the values and beliefs are and what the difference between them and how they might be fighting with each other, all it usually takes is some tweak in the belief side after examining the values, tweaking the belief, and then they're smooth and they can work together. Because then what comes out later, everything works. So I know I went detailed there. If you want to know more about how that works, if you want to go dive deeper in learning yourself, check out the banner right now, stacybraiuca.com/UYP. That's a free 14 lesson course that will help you know yourselves.
Know thyself.
And if you want to go deeper than that, book a session with me. I'll help guide you to go deep and come out the other side where the feels that are coming up are the good ones. Because those are the ones we want to have, because life, the reason we're here is to experience the range of emotions, but also to find joy. That's the reason we're here.
Love that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect to go that deep this morning. I did.
This is what happens. This is what happens though when we know thyself, when we follow that. So Beach Squirrel moved away from the beach for 20 years and only came back about 3 years ago. And through that process of learning thyself, is able to go deeper now and enjoy more things and thrive more in life. And I love what GR said in the comments. Check those values. Some of us are carrying values that were given to us.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's so, even in this process of coming back home, coming back and every turn that I've taken here has been like, why do I feel this way? Where did that come from? Is this mine, or was it someone else's when I was growing up here 20 years ago?
I love that you bring that up that way, because that's what the process looks like. It looks like checking, like G says, here's, like here's the way I describe it to people. When your feels come up, especially when they're negative or feel icky or feel like, just where the hell did that come from? When you stop and check, and it doesn't take that long. It's not like you don't have to write a dissertation about it, although you could. When you stop and go, what was that just happened? What was happening right before it? What caused it to happen? And then go, okay, wait a minute. Where did this come from? Did this come from when I was growing up? And not necessarily our parents. Let's not, and this isn't just because I have somebody in the audience, but it doesn't always come from our parents or grandparents. Sometimes it comes from what, like when we're in school. Sometimes it comes from other kids. Sometimes it comes from the community, from society, from things happening in society at the time.
Or old expectations that we used to have for ourselves.
Oh, yeah. Our old self fighting our new self.
Yes.
Or our old self rearing up its ugly head and going, hey, but we were supposed to do this. And us going, yeah, but that didn't happen. And it's okay. There's just lots of ways that the journey takes place, and it is a journey. It's definitely not a destination to figure out your values. But if you figure out where they came from, then there are actually ways to disconnect the negative things from it and keep the positive lessons and the positive memories. I have not only done that myself multiple times, and I'm talking big, getting rid of big stuff. But I have now guided, I'm going to say dozens of people in that process. And I've been doing therapy for 30 years, but this particular process I've only done the last 3 years. And this particular process put my own personal generalized anxiety that I had for 40 years in remission.
Amazing.
In my 30 years of doing therapy with people, I have never seen anxiety go into remission. And now I have the last 3 years, not only mine, but I've had clients who their major things that they've dealt with have gone kind of into remission. I'm not going to say they're completely gone or cured, because I can't say that, and I don't want to pretend that. But I can say for my own, I can absolutely say it's in remission. Doesn't mean that it doesn't pop out once in a while. But it means that in 3 years since I had that happen, I've had maybe a handful, I would say 3 to 4 instances of anxiety that I could not do what I call break myself. But I can't remember what it felt like to be anxious all day, every day. And I had it. It was so bad. Sometimes I was coming home from work rocking.
Yeah.
From the job I had, from the stress. And really one of the things I'm on a mission to do is to spread not only that knowledge of how to do that, but guide people through it. And part of that is here with Show Me Your Nuts. It's to help people understand those things from this platform. So, yeah, we went from Trippy Tuesday to take Stacy seriously.
That's what happens with when you go down that trippy rabbit hole.
Well, I think it's because Beach Squirrel's here, to be honest.
Beach Squirrel brings all the things.
Beach Squirrel is, well, I mean, why else would you know, if anybody who's on the beach and chilling, you're going to have good stuff. That's just how it is.
It's true. It goes back to I say so often that there's so many people that are quick to discount things like rest and entertainment and laughter and comedy and things like that as sort of a waste of time, so to speak. But when we choose to take that time to honor those parts of ourselves that I can't not believe that we're not here to have a good time.
Oh yeah.
On this planet,
Absolutely.
And so I truly, Beach Squirrel believes that we're here to have a good time together. And so when you take that time to have a good time, it opens up doors and you have, ready for it, more breakthroughs.
And breakthroughs.
There it is.
Breakthroughs to joy.
Yep.
Are the spice of life.
Absolutely.
And I think something else that you said really hit me just now, of how we think about things like music and arts as a waste of time anymore, or a waste of money in schools.
Right. Yep.
And they absolutely are not, because not only does live music and art and stage bring joy for the audience, but it brings fulfillment and joy for the people doing it. And the people who are doing that at a professional level, have gifts.
Right.
Those are huge gifts. And if we destroyed all of that, it'd be like destroying joy. I get that, like the whole idea of, let's say, and this isn't to diss this, okay? Because I have friends and family that work in Hollywood, there's one of the Kansas City Chiefs players is actually also a member of my native nation. And, so I'm not dissing big sports or big Hollywood, big things like that, because actually that's showing they've gone to the pinnacle, they've been able to get to a pinnacle of people seeing their talents. But I want people to see what happens with local things. Going to a child's soccer game or baseball game, or, I mean, that's pure joy to watch a child play like that. Or going to, I'm definitely in for the live music. That's something my family gets their thing with. Although I will also put in this next, thank you for reminding us that quilting is also joy, because that's a form of art. And it is a very artistic endeavor in the sense of developing that skill to the level of art. Another one is model cars. Who would know that a model car, little pieces of plastic put together, could be artistic? But I guarantee you that I have seen some model cars that would blow you away as far as art. And so don't discount the community level when you're talking about art and joy and value. So we've gone from values to value. I think as a society, we need to value, by participating, financially supporting, etc., those people who bring us joy through art. Because life isn't just about all the other things. It's also about that joy that we get, and they need to be financial. They need to have our support. And if that's financial support, that's what it is. I mean, obviously, like, hearing people clap and being excited about the thing is important too. But, there's my little gig into, support live art and music. And
do you know what is exciting is that as we're talking about that, and we didn't know that where this conversation was going to go today.
No.
And tonight at 6:00 is craft circle in our community.
Oh, that's right. It is. It is. Can you put that
Squirrel will be there.
And Squirrel, this Squirrel should be there after I've got a little bit of, like, got to do the little bit of 9 to 5 right before it. But yeah, I should be there too. So connecting. This month has been about connecting. And next week we start in the next series is going to be breaking free. Breaking free from, so we're going from breakthrough to break free, and talking about freedom in general, and freedom in lots of ways. So we're going to have some guests next month. We're going to talk about freedom and advocacy one week. We're going to talk about freedom and freedom in how we work another week. That's going to be a really good one. And yeah, we're going to just keep this conversation going.
Love it.
I appreciate everybody who's been in the chat, especially today. Your support. There's been more people today, and I've loved being able to interact. I could actually flip between things a little easier, knowing where things are. So raise your hand if you're in the audience and you plan to be here to celebrate freedom next week. And pass along, if you don't mind, pass along today's show for the replay. Let's see if we can get more people to answer the polls. And then I will bring the answers to the 2 polls. I'll bring them back next week for us to see how things landed, in between this week and next week. We'll see how that poll really turns out. And maybe talk about it and the freedom it brings for us. So I really appreciate you guys. And I think that's about as nutty as I can be today.
I really appreciate you having Beach Squirrel on today. Beach Squirrel enjoyed being here, and really happy to be a part of the conversation. And also, I love this topic of community celebration because this is a big week to celebrate here on the Breakthrough Show Network. On a very personal note, I want to congratulate Stacy on finishing up her first series as a host here on the network. Woo woo!
Thank you.
Yes. And on Sunday, the Breakthrough Show Network is celebrating its 7th birthday, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
7th birthday. We are going to be live at 12 p.m. Eastern time for a special session of Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light in celebration. And then I will be in the virtual community the rest of the day for some very special things going on. I have so much I have to announce during the episode on Sunday. I can't, my mouth is closed right now, but you want to be there. That's all I can tell you.
And I'll say that knowing Beach Squirrel the way I have come to know Beach Squirrel, there are lots of squirrels running around behind the scenes that you're going to get to meet.
Oh, yes. There will be all of the beach French fries. There will be all of the beach chickens, beach squirrels. It's happening. Just I can't wait. I can't wait to share with you guys what all is happening. But I want to give a huge thank you to all of my hosts, Stacy included in that, and all of the people that have come to enjoy our community over in our shows over the last 7 years.
Yeah, you guys be there. I'm planning on being there as a newbie host on the Breakthrough Show Network. And then I'll at the, the 8th, 9th, 10th plus anniversaries, I'll be able to, settle into some groove. But I'm excited for this one. This is a really amazing community, you guys. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a host here. I found the community before I became a host. I had no clue I was going to start another live stream show. And when I found the community and found out what they were about, what they do, what things mean, what their missions, their values, their beliefs, I was like, oh, I'm home. It's time to start this squirrely thing up again. And then I'm here.
Yay.
So I will see you guys next week. Thank you again, Beach Squirrel.
Thank you.
Around and wait next week. Hopefully I'll bring Flat Squirrel. You guys will have some information about Flat Squirrel to be able to get your own Flat Squirrel. Maybe we'll see if that's available on Sunday. We'll see. It may not be available till Tuesday next week.
And happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian friends today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you I totally forgot. I didn't forget it last week, but I forgot it today. Happy Canada Day to my Canadian cousins. My Canadian, so I have biological Canadian cousins. I have Potawatomi Canadian cousins, and I have Go Brunch Canadian sisters.
And Mr. Beach Squirrel is Canadian.
Mr. Beach Squirrel's Canadian?
Yes. Yes.
I had no clue.
Oh, yes.
The things you find out.
We are an international nest of beach squirrels.
The things you find out on Show Me Your Nuts.
This is an educational show, people.
It is educational and nutty.
There's that.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.